Hey people, welcome to a new episode of Vanya's Homestead Adventure. After the last video I made about with the title of what to do when you lost everything and how to start over, right? The reactions to that, like in the comments to that video, made me realize that it's a situation that is well, I knew it was recognizable for a lot of people, but that got confirmed, to say the least. And I think it's a good thing that that we talk about that more. I think guys don't talk about stuff like that. Not a lot, maybe not enough. We are taught from when we are young to suck it up and deal with it ourselves, and that is then kind of what we do. We don't want to be maybe I just speak for me, but I don't believe I do. We don't want to be trouble to anybody. We don't talk about shit because if you do, you are a burden to the one who has to listen to it. So, and you don't want to be a burden, so you just shut the fuck up and deal with it, pretty much. And I think there's a lot of people, a lot of guys out there who has the same sort of thoughts and the same sort of things, the same search for some sort of meaning in their life. And for me, especially after being in a relationship for a long time that I wasn't myself in anymore, that I lost myself in, that resulted in a divorce, which kind of forced me to think about what it was that I wanted, what I really wanted. Before I even got into that relationship, I've been pretty much doing what I thought that I should be doing instead of even thinking about what I really wanted to do myself. When I was a kid, I worked at a farm, and I said, well, when I grow up, I wanna be a farmer. And then life happens, and you think, yeah, I'm gonna be an adult. I have to take care of my family. I have to pay the bills, and then I think human behavior is really interesting. So I want to start studying psychology, which I did for a while actually. But people say, no, your dad was a salesman, so you should go into commerce. And then you think, yeah, that's true. And so I went into commerce, and that's fine. I mean, I'm good at that. I've done pretty well with that. But then later, that just stacks up all those things that people say that you should do, and that is expected of you. They just build up until you created some sort of persona, some sort of avatar. And again, I'm talking for myself, but maybe there's more people out there with the same sort of feelings, or the same view on it. If I talk for myself, I created some sort of avatar that played the role of what I thought that people needed from me, how I could be of some sort of service, how I can be appreciated and valued, of value for other people. And in that process, I completely lost what was important to me. And then it's not just the people around you, but it's the whole society that's built upon how much money you make is how much value you got, and how well you fit into that whole picture. And then after my divorce, well, you're gonna see the videos probably, because I'm gonna post the videos of me right after my divorce, where you can see that I'm searching. I have no idea who I am. I have no idea what I want. I have no idea that if I find what I want, how to get there. So for me, that meant I just went in full extreme, and I'm gonna climb the fence here. Full extreme, and I bought an old Land Rover. I pretty much got rid of everything I owned, and I decided to go drive around the Baltic Sea, the Oostzee in Dutch, which I did. I bought that old Land Rover, and I went. Well, I not just went. It scared the living shit out of me, and you can see that in the videos how socially awkward I am with myself and with the choices I was supposed to make and was about to make and what was even making already, and how much self-doubt I had. I had no idea who I was and what I wanted anymore, and it took me this extreme step to reconnect with who I am, who I really am, and where I want to go with my life. And it made me realize that for me, it is not about, it has never been about how much money to make. I don't want to worry about money, but I realize now that I've always put so much time and effort into making a lot of money, so I didn't have to worry about money. But now I realize that if you just don't spend so much money, you also don't have to worry about it so much. You don't have to make so much if you don't spend so much. But society tells you to make a lot of money and work your ass off until you get a burnout, and then get over that as soon as possible, get back in the saddle, and do the whole thing over again. And all I wanted was to find, and I think a lot of people are with me on this, a lot of men, at least, because I feel like as a man I speak more to men here, but yeah, I don't know, that can be an assumption. I lost my train of thought here. I hope you understand a little bit what I'm feeling and what I'm coming from here, what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that it is so important to take a step back, and if it takes a divorce or it takes the loss of a job or something else major in your life that forces you to reconsider everything that you know and believe in, then that is the thing that is what you needed to get to that place. I know it was Carl Jung that says said, the thing you need the most is in the place you least want to look. And that means that the place that, for me at least, that means that I found the thing that I needed the most, that I wanted the most, in the place that I never looked for my whole life, because I was too scared to look there. Because what would other people say of that, right? What would society say of that? I would be a failure in the eyes of society. Not to mention the people I care about. How would they feel about me? Well, turns out that the ones that really care about me, are quite happy for me now. And the ones that didn't, well, they're not in my life anymore. So we are so attached to the things we know that we are unable to let it go, to let them go. And we will never find out what's on the other side of them. Because we hold on to it so tight and so strong. And all we have to do is let go. And then we will see that we can. You have to jump, they say, to see if you can fly. Well, that's pretty real. And again, for me, it was an extreme, like literally getting rid of everything I have, getting in a car and start driving. And the whole upcoming video series is me starting with no idea what to do with my life and what to do with myself, and how to rebuild from this full reset and rock bottom. But it turned out to be a real reset. I had to reset myself in order to find myself, which is what I did. And the weird thing is, I bought for 1,500 euros or something in survival equipment, because I was going into the forest. And in that forest, I realized that I didn't need any of that. I didn't even use most of it. I didn't sleep in a tent for most of the time, because I built my own shelter there. And I remember waking up one morning, a while away from the base camp, where I have built my shelter, and I got all my equipment in base camp, and I'm waking up, and I remember there was a squirrel playing with me when I woke up, like running up and down the trees and checking me out and coming back and leaving again. And that made me realize, might be the lack of sleep, but at least I needed that to realize that you don't need all that shit. You don't need that iPhone, that newest iPhone. The expensive stuff, the brands, the whatever. I still like it. I'm not saying I don't like it. Sometimes I want that, but I don't need it. You don't need it. And if you realize you don't need all that shit, then it loses power over you. And then at some point, when that doesn't have power over you anymore, then society loses power over you. And when society loses power over you, people around you that either want to see you fail or just want to take advantage of your success, they lose power over you. And then you got a lot of time in your head, because slowly all those voices of other people are fading away. Society's voices fading away, and what remains is your own. And that's scary, That is a scary thing to go through. But once you do, you will find out what you really want and what you value and what is important to you and who you are and what you find meaning in. And then the thing that takes a little bit of courage, but by this time you've already built a lot of courage, is to go for it. And for me, that meant going back to the Netherlands at some point. I went up and down to Sweden for a couple of times, met Josephine, and at some point decided that I was gonna make that leap. And I was in the process of selling my business in the Netherlands, and I did. And then I sold my house, and I left, and I worked. I took a job for like minimum wage, if it even was that, as a survival instructor around Stockholm. And that made me fall in love with nature completely. And nature has taught me so many things. It has confirmed all the things that I'm saying here. But for me, this is the place, you know. This is my church. This became my church. And that's what you gotta do also. That's what I would say, and that's why I'm posting these whole fragile videos, these upcoming videos on YouTube, this series. Not because I like it, because I really don't like to see myself. But it's a part of my healing to put it online. And I hope it inspires you or some of you to find your church also, like I found it here in the forest. And it doesn't mean you're gonna find it in the forest. I mean, I had no children. I was, as soon as I sold everything and went through that whole mourning process, a process of grief, of fully putting myself back to zero, I found my church here in the forest. But I hope for you that you will find your church wherever that is. And it can be in the forest, but it can be wherever you are. All I know is that if I can do it, so can you, and so can anybody. Whatever that means for you. I went to a psychologist once, and that's the last thing I'm gonna say about this today. And she told me, if you need permission, was about something else, but I'm gonna say it like this because maybe it's for you. If you need permission to do it, to choose yourself, then this is it. If you need permission to choose yourself, I am, even though I don't have the power to it, I am giving you that permission. Like, my psychologist was giving me the permission back then without any authority to do so, because you only have yourself to give permission to. But it did something to me, and I needed that permission from a third person. And if you also need that, then here it is. You got it. Okay, people. Hope this resonated with you in some way. And otherwise, it is part of my healing process to record this so I can review it like I always did. I always document everything for myself and maybe now for you as well. So yeah, if you want to support me with this, then thank you for subscribing or watching or whatever. And if you want to enjoy this whole thing with me, then feel free to check out offthegridwithmark.com to see if you can come visit us at some point if you want to. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching again. Hey do.